Hey guys, welcome to Be Original with Isley Creative,
where we discuss all things marketing. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to this week's Be Original podcast. I'm OJ.
And I'm Christian.
And it's this week, like we talked about last week, we're kind of, our overarching topic is
creating content for every stage of the buyer's journey.
And today we're going to focus on
awareness. So
perfect.
Cheesy. Everybody say
perfect.
Awareness.
Perfect. No, it's good. Okay, so let's dig right into it. We don't have tons of time, so go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is like the redheaded stepchild in marketing, and the thing that people don't want to spend money on. They don't want to do... well, I shouldn't say that. Everybody wants to be known. Everybody wants to be known in their industry. But unfortunately, you have to spend money to get there now, and especially in the digital world. You're competing against endless people, getting their brand out there in a million different ways. And it's one of those things that we have to understand. When you're going for awareness, it's not always immediate returns. Of course, it'll translate to returns, but we're talking about the initial part of the funnel, the first stage, if you will, the foundation of all your marketing efforts going forward. If there's no awareness, if you're not pushing awareness, there's no data to use. There's no, there's just no way to get out there if you're not focusing on this part of the puzzle. Right?
We're talking about a long-term play for your organization.
Yep, and I think you should always be doing it at some form. But if you're just starting out, this is step one, ground level.
Okay, so here's a question for you. I mean, we see this in some of our clients. One of the questions that we get is, well, I have a product that is, maybe it's a well-known manufacturer product that they sell, right? Mm-hmm. I sell, let's just use Apple for an example, right? Like, I sell Apple products. Mm-hmm. Like, can I go online and just throw it up on Marketplace and sell it? I guess the thought behind it is it's not completely out. It's not completely out there to think that you couldn't go on there and sell a product that is a good price. Maybe that's your thing. Like, you have better prices or whatever. But we're still saying that in order to keep and retain these clients over a long period of time, you need to be more than just a single product company. Right. They're not going to know who you are necessarily. They may know that you sell Apple products, and that's why they keep coming back to you, or that's why they bought that product from you. But they'll never say, "Oh yeah, XYZ company have really helped me. They understood my needs and helped me, guided me through the process of what products to buy." Right,
because in that world, you really haven't touched the customer. And I know for me, like if I'm ordering on Amazon, for example, I don't necessarily pay attention to who it's coming from. I'm just like, Amazon. It's going to show up in an Amazon box with a smiley face on it, and I think Amazon. I don't think OJ.
Sure.
I'm buying this Apple product from Amazon, not OJ, even though OJ is fulfilling it, right?
Right.
So there's not really any brand awareness, especially with third-party vendors like that. If your business is working that way, there's definitely a disconnect. Mm-hmm. It's people will have to do some digging. And so, the goal there in awareness is you want to get people to start ordering directly from you, not from Amazon, things like that. So, in that market where, if you're selling a product in the 3P world, you're going to be hard pressed to find people that know your brand.
Sure.
So,
I mean, that now we're talking about having to develop some type of shtick, mm-hmm. right? That brings people back. And what it is that, what are you doing that's going to help bring those people back?
Yeah.
It could be as simple as a non-for-profit, that you donate to. Sure. Or maybe it's just, purely the fact that you are, family oriented. Mm-hmm. You manage your schedules around families and the needs that families have and mm-hmm. things like that, right? Mm-hmm. But all of those things are more of the awareness play of saying, here, this is who we are. Yep. This is why we do what we do, and this is why we're above the rest.
Well, and that's exactly it. That's exactly what awareness is. You want to separate yourself from the rest of the industry, but you also want people to know what you do easily. And so I think the important part of it is that when you're creating content for awareness, which you should be doing, absolutely. Yes, people should know what you do initially and no questions asked. It should be really easy for them to understand and look at your website or your ad and be like, I know what these guys do. The difference is now, and as like we talked about before with the Story brand, you want to present yourself as a guide to the customer. So you're not just saying like, I'm a doctor's office and I can work on, whatever, any health issues, or we do physicals, or we do this, or we do that, right? Like, of course you do. You're a doctor's office. What about you is going to help people solve their problems, their actual problems? So maybe you're a doctor's office that specializes in back pain, right? That's probably a specific type of doctor, but regardless, that's what you want to focus on. And you want to say like, nobody deserves to live in a world that they can't walk around for more than an hour,
Right.
And create the solution, like you're giving them a solution. I think the big key is presenting what you do specifically and easily understandable, but then also what sets you apart. And then at the same time, you're not talking about yourself the whole time. You're talking about the customers because you want to relate to them and you want to say, I understand where you're at. I understand your problem. You know?
So it's saying that we know what you're going through to make the decision of where you're going to go for your checkup, where you're going to buy your products, whatever.
Yeah.
We understand the process that you go to try to determine who is the best fit for you.
Yeah.
And one thing that I want to touch on too is the thing to remember too is when you're giving your potential clients this information, it's really easy. I mean, it's easy for us. We see it all the time where we go down this rabbit hole of copy, like just written word that gets really elaborate, and you try and use as many big words as possible, and people are just like getting lost in what you're trying to say to them.
Yeah.
And my initial response to that is always be as simple and straight to the point as possible, so that people know. In this book, it talks about the digestion of information in your brain, and how when your brain digests information, you burn calories, and when you burn calories, the more calories you burn, the harder it is for people to understand what it is that you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So the least amount of calories that you can burn while processing information, the better.
Yeah.
For at least for your clients. So that's kind of where awareness is at.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have this is a huge content play. Everything you do needs to align in a way that people understand, and you have to be willing to put the money into it. And that's one of the things that we constantly hear is like, well, I would never spend that much money on content. Well, you have to. You have to set aside a budget for it. Like you may never have before.
Sure.
But now that you have a plan in place.
And again, it's not, and we've talked about this before too, in other platforms that we've done this. Like, it's not about hiring Isley. It's not even about hiring any other production company to do the content. It's you have to do your content, period. Like, whether it's you doing it, your nephew doing it, or your brother doing it, you have to put out content.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
All right. So today was awareness. So if you have any questions, make sure you write them below. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Tell us where you are hearing us. Podcasts, all those other platforms, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
Really exciting. Before we wrap up, on Monday, November 5th, we're going to be doing a live event here at our new beautiful facility, which you guys haven't necessarily seen a whole lot of, but hopefully we'll get more of that out there. But we're really excited to invite the public into our facility. We're going to be facilitating another live special edition broadcast. We're going to be talking to some people, answering some questions about marketing. Really excited about that.
Yeah, if you're local, you're welcome to come.
Yeah, if you're local, definitely stop by.
We'll have the information on our Facebook page.
The event starts at noon. I don't know for certain what time we're going live at. Between noon and 1, and it ends at 1. So
yes, we will let you know.
We will keep you posted. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening and checking us out. We'll see you next week.
Thanks again for checking out Be Original with Isley Creative.
You're the reason we do this, so be on the lookout for more tips and advice on your marketing strategy.